Hey there guys, how's it going? I'm glad to speak to you today. To be honest, when I started this video, I had an idea of what I wanted to talk about, but when I hit the record button, my mind kind of fell blank, and not blank in the terms of I don't have anything to talk about, blank in what do I start off with first? How far have we come, and how far is it going to go? Now, most of you on this page, the American Resistance, you already agree with what I have to say, but perhaps maybe you could spread the word to others who are still on the fence. Look, if you voted for Trump, that is okay. Maybe you didn't understand what was going to happen. Maybe you hoped against blind hope that he would change, or maybe you were angry at the way things have been going in D.C. for the last 20 years, and you do have a right to be angry, because whether, as people on the left, Democrats, or people on the right want to admit, our Congress, both sides, did help lead to the rise of a man like Donald Trump. Those are the facts of the matter. I don't like to admit it, but they got so tied up in left versus right that they forgot there's 320 million Americans under them that they need to serve. And look, I don't blame the Democrats as much as I do the Republicans. Please pardon my speech impediment. I have a stutter. As much as I blame the right, but the fact of the matter is the Democrats had a supermajority in 2010. They could have done sweeping legislation reform, just like Franklin D. Roosevelt did in his first 100 days in office with his supermajority. Okay, so they halted, and where I'm going with this is we can halt no further, and we cannot allow ourselves to be divided, and I am guilty of this. Anyone who knows me personally knows the great aggravation I have at anyone who is a Bernie or bust person, who would only vote for Bernie Sanders no matter what, because Trump would never win, there would never be a wall, relax, it ain't gonna happen, dude. Well, now it is all happening. So where do we go from here? Simple as we need to keep doing what we're doing. We need to protest peacefully. And also, our protests need to have a purpose, like at the airports, okay? Or the Women's March, for example. Its purpose was letting the people, the crazies, know that they're not just going to walk and march unopposed. We will stand up. We will fight. And I don't care if you're a Bernie supporter, a Clinton supporter, a Trump supporter, a Muslim, an African American, white, Hispanic, Asian. It does not matter. If you feel these policies are insane, if they remind you of a time in history that led to a Second World War that ended with the death of 70 million people, then stand with us, fight with us, peacefully. And look, don't let anyone ever tell you that you're being too extreme when you relate what you're seeing to the rise of dictators of that time. Because look, it's not all that different. Do I feel that Trump is as crazy and evil as those people? Not even close. He's an egomaniac who is filled with greed. That's really what it comes down to. His purpose is to make money. All right, and if he has an idea that is actually good for the people and is actually going to help the majority and is not based in racism or going against some religion, then that's fine to support him in those matters. But when it comes to bans on Muslims, and then let's call the spade a spade. This 7-country ban for safety, it's a backdoor way to make it legal to ban Muslims. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Even if you are a Trump supporter, please, just call it what it is. Okay, it's fear-mongering at its worst. And this wall, people, please, wake up. You cannot make another country pay for your wall. And even if you could find some backdoor way to do it, that is insane. There is nothing normal about what's going on here. And I know I am going off in tangents, and I apologize for that. But the point of this is this. We need to keep fighting and not let ourselves be silent. We cannot grow bored or stagnant And on top of that, you must remind yourself every day, this is not normal. None of this is normal. At all. Nothing of this. Every day, remind yourself when you turn on that news, when you look at your Facebook feed, and you see now that Trump has said this about the courts and he's waged war on the media. It's okay for the president to view his disagreements with a court decision. It's okay for him to view his to talk about his disagreements with some of the media. Every president has done that, but they have not done it in the way where they've tried to take away the integrity of these organizations to make them mean nothing. When a president says, if anything happens now, I will blame the courts because they suspended the travel ban, that's crazy. You do not know. No, not when it comes to that. And okay, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Resist. Refuse, resist, but peacefully and wisely. Don't go burning trash cans. Don't go destroying your neighborhood. That does nothing. And if you're going to protest, hit them where it hurts. And I'm going to give a quick story to end it. When Martin Luther King Jr. tried to protest for civil rights, and they wanted to fight segregations, one of the first things they tackled were the bus companies. And why, might you ask? Not just because it was wrong that black people were made to sit at the back of the bus, but because 60% of their customers were black. And what's going to happen now if 60% of their customers refuse to use their service? They're in to lose a whole lot of money. So whether we like it or not, you have to go at people's wallets as well as their heart. And yes, Martin Luther King Jr. succeeded. They couldn't afford to lose all that money, and segregation of the buses had to end. That's the moral of the story, and that's where we need to go from here. We need to work together. No matter who people voted for, it does not matter. From here on out, we are all Americans. I don't care what party you belong to. You are an American first. Thank you. God bless you. Stay educated on the facts and not the fears.